requested that I watch Home Alone, and it's perfect timing too, because Macaulay Culkin did a Google ad that shows what Home Alone would be like in 2018, but he's also an adult, so that was very, very funny. Essentially, Google security takes care of things. That's really nice. And he finally gets to eat his macaroni. I didn't realize that this was such a point that the fans really wanted to see, because 99% of the comments that I saw were talking about how Kevin finally gets to eat his macaroni. Really funny commercial. But the actual movie, Home Alone, I thoroughly enjoy it. It's great. It's fun. The slapstick's great. It's got some really witty one-liners in there. A nice cynical sense of humor. And I know nowadays you probably wouldn't see this level of harshness, but I know that that's a very accurate portrayal of a crazy family, but one that still loves each other, because they are very harsh to each other, and they are genuinely frustrated. They do lash out at each other. And they can be really mean to Kevin, and yeah, so I can see you get why he'd want them to disappear, because he is the youngest, and people have to do simple things for him, but he's also, hey, he's the youngest, he needs he needs some help once in a while. Oh, people were talking about what kind of job the dad does, that he can afford a trip for however many people to France for who knows how long. I've met somebody who could do something like that. So it is possible. That, and the economy was a little better back then, so I think it's possible. They probably saved up. They're definitely wealthy. Definitely don't think Uncle Frank paid for himself, that's for sure. Uncle Frank and his family are on that vacation because Kevin's dad is spotting the bill, that is for sure. But he might have saved up. Could be in the medical field. Could be in business. In the business world, there are jobs he could do where he'd be able to afford that. Not going to dwell on that too much, because the story is very tightly written. And another thing that I have heard of is people say that Kevin's a sociopath, and that's another one I really don't think is accurate. Yes, there's some violence. Really funny violence, yeah. The two that really stand out to me with the traps, well, the blowtorch for one, and the nail in the foot. The violence overall is pretty tame. For example, he's hitting them on the head with a bucket, and he trips them, and he puts glue and feathers on them, so it's pretty simple stuff. Oh, and stepping on ornaments, which honestly can happen to anybody in careless moments. The violence is also a last resort, because the whole movie, Kevin is doing his best to scare the bad guys away. The first thing he does, he turns on the lights to make them think that someone's home. And then he has the mannequin party. And then when he sees them looking at him in the window, he pretends he's hanging up the tree, and he says, "Oh, Dad, can you help me?" So he's trying to convince them, but they don't leave it alone. They still like to take the risk. So violence ensues. It's got a quippiness to it. There are some one-liners in there that I think are pretty great. My personal favorite, it's a dark joke, is when Kevin escapes the house into his treehouse on a zip line, and Harry and Marv are looking for him. They get to the window and ask where he went. Marv says, maybe he committed suicide. Apparently that line was ad-libbed. So that was great. Now, I know that the sequel supposedly really ups the violence and makes it much more Saw-like, and much more intense than what it is in this film. I'm going to talk about it more when I review it, so that'll be tomorrow or Sunday. So I'm going to focus on this one. I actually feel bad for that poor pizza guy, because he's just trying to do his job. He didn't deserve to be scared away. I think that's one thing that the Google commercial did, was that that Google commercial he's pretty nice to the pizza guy in the commercial, so that does make me happy to see they did fix that. That was really nice. Poor pizza guy. Anyways, Home Alone. It's a fun film. There's wit. It's a tightly written story. You do feel legitimately good at the end when the family comes back and they do love Kevin and they do support him and they are feeling really bad about having left him behind. You get his relationship with Buzz. So, yeah. Oh, also, one more thing. That is a really nice house they're living in. I would not mind spending a couple days alone in that beautiful house. It's nicely decorated for Christmas. It looks like something out of a furniture ad. Something out of Williams-Sonoma. Just a beautiful home. People have been wondering what Kevin's dad did in order to afford that, but there's things he could do. I buy it. It's a wealthy family. So, it's a nice house. I really like that attic loft. Anyways, Home Alone, fun film, still good for the holiday season. Funny, heartwarming, Christmassy. It's got it all. I enjoy it.